right, guys, and now we are finally back to working on my truck. If you guys remember, quite a few videos ago, it's been a while, but just before I started working on the Banshee, I did some transmission lines on this, and I said that we'd get back to it on doing the motor mount, and we are finally back at it. I also got to do my marker lights, and then I got some new headlights for it, and then that is pretty much it, I think. So just the motor mount and the lights. Oh, and then I got to change the oil too. So without further ado, we're going to dig right into looking at that motor mount. All right, guys, so I have the new motor mount right here, and I believe it's going to bolt on just like that. So these 3 bolts are bolting to the frame, and then you got 4 bolting it to your motor. So if we look at the truck here, you're gonna look way down right underneath my header is right where it's gonna be. It's really greasy right now, but that's where the 3 bolts are. I can see 2 of them right down right in front of that first tube of the header. Try and get a good angle of that. But yeah, so that's where those 3 are, and then that shield is right in between those 2 tubes, right by that one ignition wire, spark plug wire. So that's where it's going to be, and it might be easier with the wheel well liner out to get in there, but I'm gonna see if I can't get at least those 2 with extensions. So I'm gonna start trying to take it out now. All right, guys, so now, as you guys can probably see in there, I got the 1 bolt loose. That's just the center bolt. There's 1 on each side of that. And what I used is, actually on eBay, I found this extension. I want to say it's probably 18-inch with a nice little round swivel on the end. Works really well. And then I have a 15 millimeter. All 7 of those bolts are 15 millimeter. And you're definitely going to need an extension if you're doing it from the top. This one worked really good. And then nice little electric impact there. And then a breaker bar to get it loose. And I got 6 more to go. All right, guys, so here's a closer look at the tool that I'm using. It's a Steel Pro. That's the brand of the extension with the swivel on the end. It's a 1/2 inch to 3/8. And I got a medium deep snap-on socket on the end. And then this is a snap-on 1/2 inch ratchet. Really nice breaker bar. It's nice to use because you don't want to give it too much power right away and end up stripping out one of your bolts. And I got all 3 of them from the top. I was able to get with just this tool. And now I just got to unbolt it from the motor. And when you're taking it off, you want to have the motor supported, because that mounts holding your motor center in the engine bay. So you want to have some kind of stand under it. My coworker has done one before, and he had a screw jack stand. It looks just like this underneath it when he took it out, and then just placed the new one in there. I wasn't around for when he did it. I just saw a little bit of how he did it, so I'm doing it firsthand. I don't know exactly where to get at the engine bolts, but I'll figure it out here. All right, guys, so I'm underneath the truck now, unbolting it from the motor. So you got 1 bolt that is gonna be right up. I'm gonna try and get my extension up in there. Right in front of that, you guys can see that right there. It's that bolt right up there, and then just behind it is another one right up above right there. And then to get the top 2, I've yet to find that out, so I'll let you guys know shortly. All right, guys, so I ended up pulling the wheel well liner and the wheel off so I could get in here at it, and the motor mount's just right there. And I'm gonna have to use a 3/8 ratchet to get in there, and I'm gonna be, because there's no way to get in there without like hitting the frame and stuff. There's no good angles at it. I mean, unless you have a good extension or something, but you know, with your basic tools, at least I don't feel like I could get in there. Plus that one's behind the strut mount, and you're just gonna have to reach in there and get nice and close and up in there to be able to get it loose. So I'm gonna be working blind, but should be able to get them. And I'm gonna start supporting the motor now. All right guys, and as you can see, I got the motor supported right there, and I did get all the bolts out. I am not gonna lie to you guys, that one over there in that corner is definitely the hardest one to get. This one's not so bad, but that one takes a lot of precision, and you definitely gotta have the right tools. But now I just gotta figure out how to fish it out of here. As you guys can see, it is loose in here. So might have to jack up the motor a little bit and fish it out of there. I gotta figure out what way it wants to go out, and then I'll show you guys it when it's out. All right guys, so I quickly realized that this is gonna be actually a lot harder to take out, because I actually do have these Gibson short tube headers, and that is making it drop down a lot lower, making it more in the way. I mean, I don't know exactly how much more in the way it is. I just know that these ones got to drop down further, because being the fact that they're headers, manifolds probably sit at least 2 inches taller or so, probably giving you enough room to get out right here. So I'm gonna have to figure this out and get back to you guys on it. All right guys, so it looks like there's not gonna be a way to get around the header, so I'm just gonna have to R&R my header here just to get the motor mount out, and then I can get the new one in, and it'll be a lot easier to get the new one in place and trying to line up the bolts. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take my header off. All right guys, I got the header all taken off now, and what you gotta do is there's 6 bolts bolting it to your head and 3 bolting it to your exhaust flange right in front of your converter there, and then there's a 15 millimeter bolt right there for the dipstick, and you gotta pull your dipstick up and take it out. I've already done this before, like 10 maybe 11 months ago, so all of it's pretty new, and wonder where that oil is coming from. But now I have great access to my motor mount here, and I should be able to just pull it out. Might have to jack up the motor a little bit more or something, but should be able to wiggle it out of here. I might have to jack the motor up a little bit more, but I'll get it out of there. All right guys, so I was able to get the motor up just a little bit more, and that gave me just enough room to get it past the frame, and I got it right out through this hole right here, and there it is. So I don't know with the stock manifold on there if there must be a way to get it out, but my coworker, when he also did one, he was doing the driver's side and I am doing the passenger side here. So I don't know, maybe you have to pull the manifold, or in my case header, off anyways, but I got it out now nevertheless, and now it's time to get the new one installed and get it all put back together. All right guys, so it was a bit of a tight fit to get it back into place, but I got it in there now, and now all I gotta do is put all 7 bolts back in it and bolt it all up, and then put my header back on and just button it all back up, and then I'll be good to go. So that part's pretty boring, so I'll just show you guys when it's done. All right guys, and after a hot minute, my flashlight did end up dying, but it is finally all bolted in there. The heat shield's a little disformed because trying to get those top bolts in really sucked, but I got it figured out now, and now it's all bolted in. So now all I gotta do is bolt the header back in, put the oil dipstick on, put the wheel liner back in, put my tire on, and then should be good to go. I mean, I did end up breaking one of my spark plug wires, so I'll either have to take one off of the street truck or find one laying around, because I might have one laying around. But I do want to look at this spark plug too, the one covered in oil, because it might be cracked, or I don't know, I just want to see what's going on in there, because this thing, when it's idling and I'm at a stop, it does feel kind of weird, like it has a little roughness to it, and that could be it right there with the oil on there. So I just want to take a look at it, make sure that everything's okay, see how it's doing. So I'm gonna finish everything up now and get it all put back together. All right, guys, so I got the exhaust all done and hooked up. The dipstick is in, and then I wanted to check out that spark plug. So I got that spark plug out right here, and I noticed how the little metal piece that makes the contact of the spark, I forget what it's called, I don't know, there's terms for spark plugs, but you can see how burnt they are. So after I saw that one, I wanted to check the other one. So this one is really burnt, so I'm just gonna need to get a tune up anyways, so I'll just replace the wires too. For some reason, I don't know, someone was in here and they must not have known what they were doing or something, because it already had a tune up once. Like this truck does not have low miles by all means, it's actually pretty high, but they took the heat, like there's little covers that go over these for heat protection from the manifold and stuff, and when they did probably new wires is what I'm assuming. I don't know, maybe they're original, but I thought I saw NGK. I thought I saw NGK on one, but yeah, they just tossed them with the old wires, which you're supposed to slide them off and put them on the new ones. So that really sucks, but I'm just gonna have to do a tune up on it. This side's already all apart. I just gotta get 2 more plugs out. That back one's gonna suck because this shield is in your way, but I'll just have to get that done tomorrow and get it put back together, and then should be good to go after that. Still gotta change the oil and do the headlights though, but I'll try and get that done tomorrow.